Greetings, Boris and Ghouls. This is Dr. Von Mad for Catapult Time, and today we're going to try something a little different. Now, I just got through a while back making what they call a traction catapult, man-powered siege engine. This guy right here. So, we're going to try a little something. I saw these blocks, and they're like Lego knockoffs from Dollar Tree. They call them Make It blocks. So it's going to be kind of combining the two. We're going to be doing a crossover of sorts. I'm going to do a product review of these. In this case, we've got these little, like I said, these Legos knockoffs. I'm going to see if I can combine them to make a catapult. So, we're going to be using, some things we're going to be using are not going to be the Legos because they don't have all the equipment we need, but I'm going to see if I can make a catapult out of these Legos. So first thing we're going to do is cut ourselves a dowel rod. Just a little section of it. We really don't have anything round or pivoty in there that we can use. So, let's look at what we got in here. I bought 2 packages, so I don't know what all we got size-wise. They may all be the same, but I think they're all different. Let me get my scissors. Like I said, they're Lego knockoffs. They're probably compatible. Alright, let's see what we got. It's a bunch of different ones. Now, I got 2 packages of these. Maybe I should have got them in a different color, but I couldn't find brown. I know they've made them in brown, but I couldn't find them in brown. And these are from Greenbrier, which is Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's name brand. So, now there's a lot of different ways we could go about this, but I'm going to try to do it this way. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out how to attach this. So what I suspect that I'm going to do is we're going to put, I got a 4-piece here and another 4-piece. I'm going to attach them like so. I'm going to have to probably use a couple of these, or at least maybe a thin one. Let's see what we got. Let's go with that. Now, because that'll give the arm a little bit of a leeway. Now, we're going to have to attach. I need a piece that's kind of that'll do it. A two slot, and that'll fit right in like this. Now we'll grab us another flat one. Because what I want to do is be able to capture this thing in its hole. Now, we're going to have to probably do a little bit of something else here. And these are hard to get loose. That's pretty stiff. So that's pretty good considering. Alright. It's not where I wanted it, so. There we go. So I need a little bit of something to kind of hold it to keep it from slippy sliding. So. Alright. That'll work. Now. Go ahead and build the arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach the arm like so. Now I need one more piece. Now I bought, like I said, 2 packages of these, so we should have plenty. So we're going to attach this piece here. We're going to come in. I got maybe a little bit of a Alright. There we go. Now, let's see what else we got in here. Like I said, we're having to work with limited material. So, let's see what we can pull off. And I expect the battery's probably going to kill over any moment, so be expecting it. Alright, that should do for the arm. As you can see, it's kind of, I know it's black. I should have probably got a different color, but what are you going to do? Let's see. So Let's test this with an eraser or something. Hang on. I think I did. I accidentally dropped a pencil eraser into this water up here for another project that the Peanut and Kid, the Madlings, were doing. It's part of their stuff they got for their birthdays, or for Kid Mad's birthday. Alright, there it is, a pencil eraser. Now, yeah, that'll hold. Now, alright, now we are going to need some sort of fulcrum point, so we're going to attach that right there. That's going to be our fulcrum. Now let's see. Oh yeah. Now, we're going to go to our base and see if we can do this with what we got on hand. So, gotta measure it just so. Oh yeah. Okay. Now, I have a short block, and that's going to fit in right there. Now, I need I'll have to pull this one loose. Alright, we got it hung. A classic Lego problem. And a not so Lego solution. And that worked nicely. Now, so alright, there we go. Now, alright, we need to build this up just a piece. Now, well, they gave me a lot of these little 6 blockers. Well, we'll make use of them. Right enough. Alright. Alright, so that tells me I may have just made it too short. So let's figure this out. How many minutes we got? 9 minutes left. Oh, not doing too bad. Alright. Attach that little 4 square right here. Now, drop that into place. Now, Now, need one more like that. Do we have another one like that? I don't think we do, but we'll find a solution like we always do. Let's see. Nope, we need one more now. slot. Ah, there we are. Might not be quite the same. It'll work. Now, go ahead and put this up over the top. We'll put this one over the top. Slide this through. Slide this through. Now, then, we got to figure out exactly. Now, we could keep it going just as it is. It'd make a very nice little launcher. But we're going to try something. We're going to go ahead and lift. We're going to pull the arm for right now. Because we're going to try to attach the means of putting a rubber band in place in this dude. I can't get this thing to go on there. Alright. It very quickly shows its shortcomings. Now, need a band. Oh, that's too big. Don't need a band quite that huge. Let me get us a band. Here. We'll probably have to range test this dude tomorrow. Alright, now, go ahead and drop this into place. What I propose to do is trap that in there like so. Now, slide our arm through. Actually, the first thing we're going to do is grab this and pull this out. Then we're going to pull this around. Oh, wait a minute. Set this here. Alright, now. Alright, now. Alright, I see our problem. I have it. Oh, there goes the arm. Alright. I know what I did wrong. Now, for starters, this frame needs a little reinforcement. So we'll take care of that. That was breaking loose. Now, I want this thing underneath. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this arm this way as I'm putting, to pull this band up through underneath. Now, through the hole, attach. Now, we could make some modifications, as you're about to find out. So what we're going to do, get this loose, is we're going to pull all this back. Now, I'm going to have to hang on to this piece for a minute as I work this one piece here loose. There we go. Now, bring that back a bit. Slide that into place. Hold on to it. Now, oh, there's There's pitfall number 1. Alright, so let's hang on to this. And pull the arm, pull this. Alright, now let's hook this in place right there for a minute while I reattach the arm. And remember, when in doubt, over-engineer. So we got this, see where this seam broke right in here? We're going to put another piece right here on top of it. And we're going to put another piece right here. And another one like that right here. Now what we're doing is we're going to set a groove that will actually hold our arm into place as we're doing this. There we go. Now, it definitely cocks. It's odd how that works, but it definitely launches now. Now I could go back in and we can tinker with this all kind of ways even now. One of those things that we could do, and I'm going to, is maybe double up on the bands a little bit. I don't know how much this thing can take, but we're going to try it. I got 1 minute. We're going to Alright guys, had to restart it. We're about to run low on this, so this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual. Alright, we're going to put 2 bands in here. Now you could also probably use 1 thick band, but you might want to secure it a little bit better than what we got right now, because I'm not so sure that that's going to be a great move here. So I'm not so sure this thing's not going to come flying off and bonk me in the head. Now, there we go. Now, so what I propose we're going to do, lay this into place, pull this forward, and hope that it don't smack me in the fingers, because that would not be fun for me. There we go. Now, there we go. Now we're talking. So what we have here is just your basic cantilever catapult, made of Legos, or at least Lego knockoffs. Now, let's see here. Let's see if it's got any range. You could tinker with that and add a little bit to the arm, but it throws. It doesn't throw particularly good, but it throws. But like I said, you can tinker with this kind of design all day long. So, you know, all kinds of elaborate mechanisms and what all. So let's set this back up and see what we got. And with all these leftover pieces, we could reinforce it till our heart's content and all sorts of things. So let's see what we got here. So far we've used 1 big platform and 2 packages of these, but you can definitely see the potential. Let's see how, I'm going to see what the range is. I'll have to probably test it tomorrow. And it throws. Now, we can come up here and pull the bucket off of it. And maybe extend it a little bit. So what we need is a little range. And the best way to extend the range is to extend the arm. Now, I don't know if that's going to slow it down somewhat, but we shall find out, won't we? Now, there we go. Put this bucket back in place on it. And let me grab my eraser and we'll try this dude again. Somebody once told me I could build a catapult out of anything. Well, I think that's kind of self-explanatory. Now, we'd probably be able to extend this just a hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a strut on this side, maybe up underneath here. And the reason I'm doing that is to kind of reinforce. Yeah, maybe not. That might just hold up on its own. And if it don't, well, you live and learn. So let's see what we got now. Alright. Adding all that extra weight definitely made it bind up a little bit now. So what we're going to do, just pull these down a little bit. Now, that definitely put a little extra punch to it. Now, I like to need a point of some sort. I don't want to grab something that's going to hit me, because that would not be fun for me. There we go. Use this little paintbrush that came with one of the Madling's art sets. And now I have an idea. Yeah, it's gonna pop back. Alright, so what I got in mind, let's see here. Still wants to throw straight down. Now what that tells me is we need a stop bar. So let's build us a stop bar. I want it to stop right there, so what we shall do is going to need a little extra range on it. Now, we could, in theory, put a... That'll definitely increase the range a little bit because it slows the stop bar down. We can also put a bit of maybe some counterweight. You might even be able to if you had enough of these blocks. Let's try that out. Put our plan here into place. Now let's see what happens. Still needs a little something something. So, see what we're going to do. Let's catch our bands here. Pull this down. So we've got it trapped in there now, so let's go ahead and pop this loose. That's what I'm going to do. So right now what we're doing is the fine-tuning phase here of this design. Now, so I want it to be kind of... Alright, that's going to have to just kind of stay where it is. That's not going to play nice. So what we'll do is we'll attach this here. I'm going to have to pry this loose. Let's see where we're at. We still got a few minutes here. Alright. Now, let's pull this forward. Alright. There we go. Now, oh, that was not expected or wanted. Now, see, our problem here is that it's wanting to bind up right there. Now, we could eliminate this problem if it was a little bit lower. Let's see what I can do. See what it's doing? It's binding up. So, what we gotta do is maybe, just maybe, catch this band here. So we've got these two bands right here, and I want them both in my hand at the same time. If I can get a hold of them, they're wiggly. Now they're really binding up, but now I can maybe get a hold of them. Bring our tool back up here. Now I can get a hold of the one. Let me see if I can get a hold of the two. Alright, see, that's where it's going to be troublesome. But now I have both of them in hand. Now, pull these all the way down. Now, put a pair of these over the top of it. Oh, there goes that. Good things these are only $1. Alright. Alright guys, we're back. Battery failure. Brought to you by Never Ready. Now, as you can see, we've been lengthening up the arm. Making sure that this is going to hold. Scooch this over. Now, still wanting to throw a tad low, but we have a way around that too. I think. Got an idea. I'm going to put a there we go. Now, I say I'm having to build with what I got on hand, so we're going to make ourselves a de facto stock bar. De facto positive stop, which should keep this thing from, it should raise the trajectory a bit if I can get it to go on here. There we go. That's going to make it launch too high. And we're going to have to go back out. So let's pop this section here off. Pull this off. And this. And this. Let's pull the arm. That's what I think it is. Is that this doesn't like to be, it's wanting to bind up around the axle. So what I would suggest, maybe go ahead and pry this loose. Now, alrighty, gotta find now, hook that. I have my wire, here it is, this tool right here. Now that's going to slide through, catch our bar, catch our band, pull it through. Oh, alright, now we got to attach these two pieces back in place, and this back in place on top of it. Now, arm, okay, now pull that under, and that's going to have to remove some of this because we've got an issue. We got way too much, maybe need to elevate this a little less. Right now what we're doing is fine tuning. So we're going to fine tune a little bit, and hopefully not fine tune us completely into non-functionality, but maybe. You gotta be very careful. There we go. Let's pop these loose. Maybe lowering the axle might help. Come here, you. Got 13 minutes, we're doing okay. Now, yeah, I know I've also moved these pieces back a piece, and there's a reason for that. Actually, we may move these. Don't want it too far back. So, now, slide the arm into place. bands through if I can. There we go. Put my finger in here to catch this bar, to catch the band for the torsion on this contraption. And a lot of medieval catapults were built just kind of like this, just kind of trial and error till they got something that worked. And that's what we're doing here. So, we're still having the issue with the bind. I wonder something. Or something. Okay. What I'm trying to do is maybe figure out a way to get these things to not bind up. So what we're going to do is, like I said, trial and error. Oh, that was not expected or wanted. Well, there goes one of them flying. I'll have to locate it at a later time. It went shooting over here. Came all kinds of unglued. Now, we're going to put a bar right here. Now, maybe not that one right there. That's too short. What we need is something to kind of bind it to where... now it's really bound up. Alright. I may have to... There we go. And it's still binding. But we're on to something. We're on the right track. Okay. So what I'm going to propose to do, not quite that far in. Come here, let go of it. There we go. Who would have thought a straight razor would come in handy in this kind of stuff? This kind of situation. Now, let's see if that works. Oh yeah, that'll do the job. Now, where's my eraser? I had an eraser over here. Oh, there it is. Alright, let's try this out. Alright, definitely need some sort of positive stop. So what we're going to do is put maybe a bar of some sort down here up underneath it to kind of act as a stop bar. And what that's going to do is keep it from flying. Keep it from going to... See, now we've got a... Oh! Catastrophic failure. I'll have to put a scab over the top of that to keep it from breaking off. There we go. Now we're talking. Now, I don't know how long it'll hold up, but there it is. Oh, I don't move so good. Now, like I said, we'll have to test this thing maybe tomorrow or something. But let's see. I'm getting more power behind it, that's for sure. Now, we could, in theory, mind you, over here, get a thin piece instead of a block. Move that back like so. And get it to stay on there. Grab this piece. Hook our finger in this band, in this rubber band right here to keep it from snapping. Way back yonder. Now then, pull that back a little bit more. Now the great thing about Legos is I can always set it up in such a way where I can adjust the tension merely by holding onto the band and adjusting it. See, now we've tightened the band just a hair just by doing that. And it definitely launches. Now we just lost our eraser. But you get the idea. Now I wonder how it would go with a slightly smaller projectile, say a craft bead, if we can get it to stay in the bucket long enough. Now you could also come in here and maybe put an extra band on it, or even do something like I'm about to do, which is actually pretty simple. I don't know why I didn't think about it to begin with. And that would be to grab another band like this one right here. So I don't know what it's going to do. We're going to take this band and we're going to slide it over the end of this thing, like right there. And we'll see what that does now. Now, like I said, I suspect it ain't going to last no longer than a July frost, because I think the forces that are at work on it will cause it to snap. Will eventually cause the arm to fail. But we shall find out. Let's put a band, let's put an eraser on it, pull it back. I got a little range on it. Got a little bit of range. Now, let's see. Pull this stop bar loose so we can get a little more power out of it, and see what will happen. It's got that arm going way forward. And it's got speed on it. Definitely got speed. But honestly, we need a stop bar. We truly do. So what we'll do is we'll put our stop bar back into place. But we'll try to see if we can get it situated right under it, like so. Now, that should give us a little more oomph. What we're trying to do, guys, is change the angle of attack. We want the angle that this thing stops and that transfers the energy coming from down here to throw. We want it to be at a slightly higher angle, because that is the best way in the world to keep it launching properly. See, that one has barely cleared itself. So, let's see here. I wonder what happens if I pull this back just a hair. Now, another thing we can do, maybe, would be to come around here and around the axle And you could probably do that with any number of bands before this arm actually catastrophically fails. And we'll see just how many that'll take. Because that's the thing. With this, you're kind of limited as to how much force these components will take. And we got another minute coming. This is going to be a long video. Longer than I thought it was going to be. It's going to be longer than I thought it was going to be. Didn't exactly plan on doing a seminar on this. Alright. Now, I've got 4 bands on it. All on that downside now. I can tell you right now from experience, if anything's going to catastrophically fail, it's going to be this component right down here. Now, pull that all the way down here and hook it underneath. Now, that was something I did not even consider. That would have been maybe a really good idea in lieu of using this whole thing to have it come in up underneath. Would just be have a simple cantilever bar underneath it. Oh yeah. Let's lighten this load a little bit. Because I did not think of that. That is a good idea. Alright, what we'll do is we'll pull this up, remove this bar, the band, the axle, come up here, grab this, pull it all the way up here. Now, my bet is that it's gonna catastrophically fail because there's gonna be way too much force on it. But only one way to find out. Something is going to catastrophically fail on this design at this point. I'm betting it's either going to be the arm, or it's going to be the structure here, or it's going to be the stay. But we're definitely getting some power. It definitely kicks. It's got that onager effect going on. So, let's go ahead and come up here. Now I'm going to add, because I need one just for practicality's sake, a thumb peg. Now I know the more stuff you put on something, the more can go wrong. But let's see what happens. And it hits the camera. But at least we know we're getting somewhere. See if we can find maybe another band. You know us, we're going to push this until we actually either break it or get our breakthrough one way or three. So now let's see what we get. Oh, that definitely got some power out of it. Can't really tell you just how much, but I can tell you that we're definitely getting a little punch out of it now that we were not getting before. Move this over into the middle. You could also maybe use some craft beads right here if you wanted to keep this thing centered. Pretty good, pretty good. So, there you are, guys. We'll have to range test this guy tomorrow, but that'll work. So, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified, and I will see you guys on the flip side. I may combine this with a range video tomorrow because I got a few things I got to do tomorrow. Anyway, I'll bid y'all good night. Bye-bye. Alright guys, if the wind will play along, we're going to test the Lego's catapult, or Lego knockoff catapult. So, we'll move this up so you can see just a little bit. Now I'm going to be testing it. I figure it's not going to be too strong because, like I said, it is made of Legos and I couldn't put very many bands or too much torsion on it. But we're going to test it in a variety of circumstances and see what it gets. Fire in the hole. Now that one was weak as rainwater. Yeah, we're not even reaching the target. So, what I may need is a little more clearance on the axle. But in the meantime, we'll move it up just to see how close I actually have to be to connect. So right now we were at the end of our little concrete porch. So I'm going to have to move up just a hair, and hopefully this wind will not knock over my castle like it always does when I come out here. I don't know why we get so much wind, and usually only when I am here, when I'm out here. Alright, let's see what it does at this range. I am right now at about 2 foot, maybe. Now it skitters. So we'll have to move it up just a hair. And now we're going to see how close I actually have to be to get this thing to connect. Fire craft bead. These are a little bit smaller. Oh, if I can keep it in the bucket. See what it does. Well, it fires it a little further. Let's try it up here on the thumb peg itself. Nope, it just Cortezes it. Let's move this. I'm trying to get a little more traction on this thing. Now that got a little more range on it. Lay it in. Doesn't throw as well when you lay the eraser that way. It's weak as rainwater, but it definitely is functional. You know, I'm sure with a little bit of time I could probably strengthen it a bit. I'm probably going to need more blocks, but you can see there we go. Now we're having to get fairly close to it. Unfortunately, that would also put you within range of the archers. But I suppose if you feel this, so you can see, it is functional if not powerful. But like I said, with a little practice and time, I suspect I could probably get a little more power out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this all the way back here. And I'm probably about to have this thing snap off and hit me in the face or something. So I moved all the bands back onto the very back of this thing instead of inside the slot. Now, I have a feeling that may end up being a catastrophic failure, but we're going to find out. Yeah, it's definitely not very powerful. But it does, as you can see, it does shoot. Now, let's go ahead and move these bands just a hair over. There we go. Now, I had to get really, really close with it in order to hit. And you would have definitely been within the range of that archer. Now, edge it back just a hair. And when you're building one of these, you may have to kind of just tinker with it. Oh, there goes the wind. It's about to knock over everything again. But as you can see, it's not particularly strong, but it does work. It is a bit fun, but like I said, not particularly strong. And I can't really, I'll have to maybe tear it down and rebuild it in order to get any more power out of it. That is. And there we go. I moved the bands down to as far down as I could on this on the launch arm. Now that got a little more power, but you'd have to keep adjusting it over and over. But can you build a Legos catapult? Yeah. With a little practice, could I make it a little more powerful? Probably. So, this is Dr. Von Mad for Catapult Time, and I will see you cats one and all on the flip side. Don't forget to follow us on Pinterest, Patreon, and Facebook. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. So, bye-bye.